Now that President Joe Biden has his first big legislative win, the West Wing and the Democrats are asking, as they always do, what's next? Senator Sheldon Whitehouse has a one-word answer: judges.
Courtrooms ought to be open places where you know who is present, not a place where powerful players can come masked behind front groups, hiding both their own identity and their interconnections. The Supreme Court should not be a place that has a special interest-controlled fast lane, bringing certain special interest-chosen cases before the court at high speed without the trappings of a real case or controversy. The court itself should not tolerate this. But if it won't respond, we must.
Mitch McConnell worked in nonstop coordination with the Trump White House counsel to appoint 231 federal judges at all levels, including 3 United States Supreme Court justices. Many of those judges were unqualified, and all were the result of a right-wing screening process funded by dark money, contributed by people and corporations who want the courts to serve them. Those judges now have lifetime appointments. President Biden and the Senate Democrats have a long way to go to catch up, and it will take the same kind of relentless use of the confirmation process to get Biden judges into courtrooms. Joining us now is Democratic Senator Sheldon Whitehouse of Rhode Island. He's a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee and chairman of the Subcommittee on Federal Courts, Oversight, Agency Action, and Federal Rights. Senator Whitehouse, thank you very, very much for joining us tonight. The story of the Trump judges, which now Joe Biden has 4 years to try to counter with his own appointees, the story of the Trump judges, as you tell it, is not just who they are and how unqualified some of them are. It's how they got there and who put them there.
Precisely. It's a question of who's behind this whole operation. And one of the things you see right now is that the same donors, the same entities, the same operatives, the same machinery that in the Trump administration was driving the court capture operation has now swiveled and turned its guns, the exact same guns, same money, same people, same organizations, to voter suppression. And if we don't show the American people what this dark money operation is and try to dig at who's behind it, then we're doing a real disservice to the American people. And if we can show them, I think that'll give us a whole new lease on life in terms of how the public appreciates what these 3 judges went through to get onto the court and what it means that they were ushered onto the court by secret special interests.
And now the judges who were put on the court at all levels, from the Supreme Court to the federal district courts, by those special interests will be in effect in the courtroom in voter suppression cases that they will be hearing over the next few years, having been put into these positions by the people who are fighting those voter suppression cases.
With litigants in the courtroom with bogus names like the Honest Elections Project, which is run right now by the same person who led the project that put these judges on the bench. So they'll be in the courtroom when these voter suppression cases are litigated to remind the judges, yes, I am the one who got you there. Now it's payback time.
When you were watching, especially on the Judiciary Committee, where the confirmations were just, speeding through the committee during the Trump years of federal judges, when you were watching that and out on the Senate floor, watching Mitch McConnell just bring those judges up constantly, Mitch McConnell, of course, was unburdened by any concern about trying to legislate, so he was happy to just do confirmations all day. Were you all sitting there thinking, wait till we get our chance, wait till we get our chance? Are you going to be trying to run as high speed a confirmation process as Mitch McConnell was running?
Gosh, I hope so. But the thing that was front of mind for me through all of that is, why don't we tell this story better? Why don't we tell this story better? These are not things that are happening. These are things that are being done. And the force behind all the rule breaking, all the norm breaking, all the hypocrisy and position reversals, all of the the whole thing just smelled. And people don't behave that way if there's not a reason. And the reason is that machine was behind all of this. It gives money to this operation that funds Mitch McConnell's independent so-called political operation, and that has now turned its guns on voter suppression. And it was just so frustrating to me when people would treat these as events that just happened. It was somehow just a thing that occurred, and wouldn't look at what the driving force was that was making this happen. There's an octopus behind all these tentacle tips, and we got to start paying attention to it. And I hope through my little subcommittee, we can pay a lot of attention to it. It certainly drives them crazy when you go after them.
How much does H.R. 1, if passed, solve these problems?
Enormously. Enormously. It would do two things. First of all, it makes dark money a thing of the past for contributions over $10,000. And then second, it takes the money spent on judicial confirmations and treats them as what they are, which is a political advertising expense that has to be disclosed also. So it would make an enormous difference. As soon as the American public as citizens sees who the players are on the stage, they get the plot right away. And that's why these nasty, big, dark money players love to hide behind masks and try to fool the American public and deny them the knowledge of who's on the political stage. And in this case, who's in the courtroom.
Senator Sheldon Whitehouse, thank you very much for joining us tonight. And I always appreciate having you here because I know you're one of the people in the Senate who's always doing the thinking about the issue that isn't on the front page today that we do have to be thinking about. Thank you very much, Senator. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.